2K Sports pregame show.
NBA on 2K Sports. Ernie Johnson with colleagues Shaq and Ken Smith. And coming right up, we'll see the Milwaukee Bucks playing against the Rockets in Houston. And for Houston, they want to come out of the gate strong tonight. We've heard them talk about establishing the upper hand right away, not sitting back and playing it safe in the early stages. And last season we saw James Harden take on the role of acting point guard for his team. Even with the switch, he continued to pour in the points. But the real story, the assists, man, why was that move so good?
Well, Harden has always been a ball-dominant point guard, I just think he's an underrated passer, but he's always been a great distributor. Now he's just doing it more. He's trying to average that triple-double.
You know what the funny thing is? When he didn't have the ball and he wasn't playing the point, I think he looked for a shot more. But knowing that it's in his hands every possession allows him the freedom to pass the basketball, and it's helped the Rockets.
Interesting. Now let's go to Kevin Harlan. He's got the call.
And that shot should leave no doubt as to where we are tonight. It's the Toyota Center here in downtown Houston, Texas. The Bucks continue their journey as they play an interconference matchup on the road. We're live in Houston where the Rockets have home court advantage. Welcome everyone to Noche Enabia. A Latin theme is the backdrop to tonight's festivities. I'm Kevin Harlan alongside Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. David Aldridge joins us from the sideline. Now let's send it down to David Aldridge, standing by from the sidelines. David?
Well, guys, James Harden is a great offensive player, but there's no mistaking it. He does dominate the ball. Now, that can bother teammates sometimes, but Coach Mike D'Antoni says when they feel that paycheck every 2 weeks, that should make them play hard. You have to be a star in your role. So when James gets the ball to you, shoot it, and then run back and play hard as heck. Kevin?
Thanks. He's a great passer, David. There's no doubt he can set the table. Clark, having a deep rotation, a strong bench, sure helps a team in so many ways, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. I think it allows you to keep constant pressure on the opposition when you have a deep bench that's capable. It just puts a lot of pressure on the opponent. And it also keeps your guys fresh and engaged. Not just fresh physically, but engaged mentally as well.
Tip-off goes to Houston. Here are the starters for Milwaukee. All the big bucks up front. Giannis, Parker, and Maker. Brogdon and Middleton are the guard tandem. Now here's Ariza. Anderson with the screen for Paul. He dishes it to Anderson. Just 5 to shoot. Screen by Capella. Harden inside the three-point line. Tries again. And Capella with the layup. Capella's got the game going here with the first basket for Houston.
Love how Capella stays alert on the offensive board, creating second chance opportunities thanks to that activity.
Here's Brogdon. The kick out to Antetokounmpo. They set the pick. Back to Maker. Another shot. And he lays it up and in.
And setting the tone early with a strong move to the rack.
Yeah, I like the aggressiveness and the fearlessness there, Greg. I mean, very committed to getting the shot he wanted.
Now here's Ariza. Anderson the screen. Anderson a screen on Parker. Over in the corner, Paul. Beyond the arc. Buries it from three-point range. Paul's got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball. Brogdon kicks to Maker. Pass to Parker over Anderson. And Parker with the basket on the assist by Maker.
Man, he's just such a smart shooter as Parker. Noticing the defense was backing off of him just a little too much. He took advantage of it and made him pay dearly.
Now here's Paul. Shoots over Brogdon. Misses the wing J.
Not sure what the D was doing there. Clearly a breakdown. You can ill afford to give a guy like him that good a look.
Pass to Maker. He tries for three. It's rebounded by Houston.
And one of the surprise moves of this past offseason was Chris Paul moving to Houston, joining James Harden to become one of the strongest backcourts in our league. Kicked off a feeling that Houston would be a force this season.
Now Harden, after Thon Maker missed from long range, goes back up, and Maker sends it back. Middleton against Harden. Middleton can't get it to go. And you know, Greg, many thought that Chris Paul may take a look at San Antonio, and he did, but Houston was too enticing a chance to pass up.
It's certainly a distinctive third chapter in Paul's career. He's always been criticized for not going deep in the playoffs, and saw Houston as maybe his best bet to make a deep run.
And here is Parker. James Harden getting it to go from deep. Pulls it up. Misses off the right iron. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for two. It's on Thon Maker.
Hey, Harden is seeking contact. He is hunting bodies when he drives. He's so good at just getting his body into the path of the defense.
And you know about Harden shooting and his ability to get to the line and all that, but you know, Clark, what some people don't realize is just how fast he's going end to end. I mean, he can just blow by players in the open floor.
Yeah, he's got deceptive speed, Kevin. And part of that is how he's worked to change his body from his college days at Arizona State to who he is in the NBA. He slimmed down a bit, but he still has that strength and that barrel-chestedness that allows him to play so well through contact. But you're right, his speed is lethal and deceptive.
Well, across the board last season, James Harden, Greg, saw his numbers jump through the roof, but he showed improvement both in his defensive engagement as well as his rebounding. Not something that a lot of us saw coming.
Yeah, that's a good point. And with Harden, I think the rebounding is the really surprising number. Went from being an average rebounding guard to a great one the last few seasons. He's been showing more of a dedication to all aspects of the game.
And James Harden is clearly an MVP caliber talent. No doubt about that. A triple-double threat who really is a stat sheet stuffer supreme.
2 shots, gentlemen. 2.
You know, Malcolm Brogdon was the 36th overall pick in 2016 out of Virginia. A little older than most rookies over the last decade and when they come into the league, but I tell you what, the Bucks got a real winner here. He's going to be a long-time, valuable player.
That free throw good from Brogdon. And for Brogdon, his age most likely a factor why he fell to the second round. Still, Clark, you know, the Bucks loved what he was about when they first met him coming out of the University of Virginia.
Yeah, hard not to love what he's about. Intelligent, focused, purposed, driven, skilled. I mean, his age may have worked against him in terms of where he was drafted, but it got him into a great spot for his long NBA career because he's going to have one.
Now, here's Capella to the left wing. Lob pass to Capella. The rebound by Brogdon.
A highlight reel play all the way, just can't connect.
I thought the pass looked good and just came up a skosh short, but I like the initiative and the intention.
Here's Antetokounmpo. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change. The Bucks need to get a shot off here. Monroe tips it back in.
Man, what hustle from Monroe. I mean, this is a guy that gobbles up second chance opportunities for his team thanks to his gigantic size.
Now here's Paul. Here's Harden. The Rockets again can't hit. The Bucks trail. Middleton outside. Stolen by Harden. And it's the Rockets on the break. Gordon's running. Parker with the steal. Outside, Antetokounmpo. 1:25 left here in the opening quarter. Monroe sets a screen for Brogdon. Played in with a nice touch off the glass.
Give an assist there, not for the pass, but for the solid screen set on the inside that freed him up and made the layup possible.
Harden kicks to Capella. A shot off that time. So Milwaukee will take it the other way. Up the floor. Here's Antetokounmpo. It's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
You know, when Antetokounmpo puts his head down, man, it is a really terrifying sight for the defense when this guy's coming at you, all limbs and arms and size and ball skills. Usually you just end up hacking away at him to stop him from getting to the hoop.
And he knocks down the first one. Well, you look at the Bucks offense, and they were very hard to stop when they got going. Near the top of the league in effective field goal percentage, which is a huge statistic. They did so despite not taking many three-pointers compared to the other top teams.
Yeah, you think about it, they led the league in how many of their threes were assisted on, Kevin, about 90% of them. And while they would look to the three-point shot, it was the result of ball movement, which often led to a good look. Still, their first look, though, back to that effective field goal percentage, was to get the ball inside.
Nene setting the pick for Paul to the inside. And Nene with the basket on the assist by Paul.
Look at the intensity of Nene, one of the strongest guys in the game, phenomenal at scoring the ball inside.
Screen by Monroe. Dellavedova dishes to Monroe. Some solid defense there by Nene.
And already they've staked out a noticeable advantage in terms of aggression and controlling the backcourt.
And a trend they'd love to continue right through the next 3 quarters as well, Greg.
Tucker can't get it to go. Milwaukee in the lead. Snell kicks to Antetokounmpo.
Get there, get there.
And the slam dunk by Antetokounmpo.
I absolutely love how Antetokounmpo just has a winning mindset. Consistently, this guy is looking to go all the way to the basket. Has to be devastating trying to stop this guy if you're on defense.
And still a close game as the first quarter comes to a close. Bucks lead by 3. The second quarter coming up right after this break, so don't go anywhere. You talked to Chris Paul, and it's clear he was born to play the point guard position.
Fortunately, I've always been vertically challenged, so I've never had to play power forward or center on anybody's team. I've been passing and getting into the lane, dishing the ball off to a teammate, helping people score my entire career.
Vertically challenged, that's classic coming from Chris Paul. But, you know, seriously, Greg, he's taken that challenge and made the most of what he's got. A terrific play.
Really, and you know what? He's actually turned that challenge on his head when he goes right at much bigger players and uses their size against them.
Welcome back, everyone, to the second quarter of play here on Noche Latina. Volanos. And look what we've seen from Milwaukee. What do you think, guys?
Just playing suffocating defense. That's been the difference here for them.
You know, Greg, I love watching this team get after it on defense. I mean, they play with a bit of edge and nastiness.
Chris Paul and Gordon are the backcourt pair. Luke Mbamute out there with P.J. Tucker. Then it's Nene, and at the 5, roaming the paint. That's the group starting the second quarter for the Rockets. Antetokounmpo with the ball. Loses his man off the screen and lays it up and in. Antetokounmpo's got 6 points. Houston's gone 3 of 6 tonight when they've let it fly from downtown. Clark, what is amazing about how Giannis plays is how much ground he can cover. It's like he shrinks the floor with how long and tall he is and his stride when going end-to-end or just attacking the basket.
Agreed. And how about this? I mean, he's Euro-stepping at 7 feet tall. I mean, That's like a dance move, and this guy's doing it with ease. His size and movement and grace looks like at times he's on another planet playing against the best players in the world. The Greek Freak has set a standard on what it means to have elite athleticism in the NBA that very few can match.
And it's Nene, top of the key. Tucker, the pass to Mbah a Moute. And he gets that one to go off the front iron.
And after that ragged first quarter, they're hitting some momentum, some confidence. Nice flow.
Yeah, and, you know, the game of basketball, as you well know, Greg, and guys, is a game of runs. So their offense is starting to move in a positive direction now. Nice upswing here.
6 to shoot. Here's Monroe. Finds the open look, and it's on target. Monroe's got the game tied up here for the Bucks.
Yeah, that's the third bucket in a row from the paint. This defense needs to clog those lanes in the middle.
And it's Paul missing. Bucks have gone 2 of 4 shooting the ball here in the second. Dellavedova kicks to Parker. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Dellavedova. Parker's got the lead up to 3 now for the Bucks.
And you really can't disregard the sniping ability of Parker. I mean, when he gets comfortable from there, he can knock down three-pointers.
Their game plan needs to change if they're going to get out of this hole because he is just not there offensively.
About 3 minutes played so far in the second quarter. Snell kicks to Dellavedova. Parker, a screen on Paul. Dishes to Parker. Shoots. And it's Parker again missing.
This has been a rough, turbulent outing for him so far. Fortunately, the rest of his team has bailed him out.
And Mbah a Moute dishes to Gordon. Back to Mbah a Moute. And some nice passing there by Houston. Nene, the screen. Tucker with the ball. Now Monroe defending. Up again. He hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points.
Oh, big time put back there. What a great motor on this guy.
There is no one who goes after those rebounds harder.
And night in and night out, that's what he provides.
And Milwaukee calls their first time out of the game. The title of best dunker is one that seems to change, Clark, from year to year in the NBA. Who's on your short list for that honor right now?
Well, there are a lot of ways you can look at that, Kevin. The best dunker, is it the most sweet-looking dunker? Is it the most forceful dunker? Is it the dunker that can do it in a game or in a contest? There are a lot of different branches on this dunk tree. But for me, looks, creativity, elevation, Zach LaVine comes to the top of the list. The big guys, I kind of eliminate a little bit. So I go with Zach LaVine in the dunk meter.
Houston with a big group substitution here. Clint Capella, he's checked in for Nene. Anderson comes in for Mbah a Moute. Trevor Ariza's checked in for P.J. Tucker. And it's James Harden in for Paul. Milwaukee also making some changes. Akers checked in for Parker. Chris Middleton comes in for Antetokounmpo. And Malcolm Brogdon subbed in for Matthew Dellavedova. Here's Brogdon. Makes a big height bounce and goes in. Brogdon's got 6.
That was an outstanding pick that gave him the room to bury the jump shot. Underrated, but not undervalued.
Ariza kicks to Gordon. Anderson with the screen for Gordon. The 3. Rebound collected by Snell. Milwaukee leading by 3. Here's Monroe, and it's slammed in by Monroe.
And, you know, when you've got the size of Greg Monroe, you're always looking to throw it down. I mean, not many guys are going to want to contest him at the rim.
Harden kicks to Gordon. Anderson the screen. Gordon the pass to Ariza. Anderson the screen. Gordon for 3. They get it back. 50 seconds left in the second quarter. Gordon a screen, passes to Harden. It's good from long range. He has 7.
And the way Harden feels and understands the game, great IQ, very impressive. He knows where to be once the pick is set.
Here's Snell. Ariza covering. There's a good screen. Snell kicks to Brogdon. Over Harden. And the call will be against Thon Maker. That'll be his second foul of the game. The Rockets have gotten exactly half their shots to go down here in the second, 5 of 10. Harden against Brogdon. Harden outside. The shot goes down and he gets this game back to even. Harden's got 5 points now this quarter.
You've got to be mindful of Harden at all times, especially when he's close to the basket. He really knows how to finish inside.
So the clock runs out with the score tied going into halftime. And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thanks, Kevin. Jason, a hard-fought first half. How do you assess the game so far?
We're going to need everybody. And the one thing we got to do is we can't settle. We got to keep attacking and get the ball in the paint.
Use that length to your advantage. Thanks, Jason. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, thank you, David. And folks, don't go away. After the break, we'll see you right back here for the start of quarter number 3.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime
Hey again,
Show.
y'all. Ernie Johnson here with Shaq and Kenny the Jet. Welcome to the 2K Sports Halftime Show. Houston found themselves in a close game in the first. They never trailed by more than 3 points, and it was neck and neck the entire period. They battled hard in the second quarter, and it was reflected on the scoreboard. What'd you think, Shaq, about the first half we saw from the Rockets?
Well, they had a strong perimeter game. See, Ernie, when this team executes from long range, those weapons spread out of defense. Coming out in the second half, if those shooters are hot, they got a great chance to take control of this game.
And over to Kenny, your thoughts on the Bucks?
Well, it's always a little bit of a challenge playing on the road, but they came in mentally prepared and physically prepared. The energy in the arena was fierce, but they didn't cave in.
And that will conclude our halftime presentation. We take you back to Kevin Harlan for the second half.
And as we return to Houston, Texas, a terrific look at the skyline here. The Toyota Center, part of that great landscape. Welcome back, everybody. The start of the second half getting underway. Both teams battling hard through the first half. One of the stories here, James Harden getting it done today.
His points production thus far off the charts. It's only been 2 quarters. Just a great effort for him for the entire half.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter where he is on the floor either, Greg. He's making it look very easy. He's looking to score the ball.
We have a close ball game on our hands as we get set for the second half of basketball. The Bucks shooting at 48% from the floor. Looking good.
Well, you know, last season, one of the surprise teams was the Houston Rockets. Ended up 3rd in the West and one of the best records in the NBA. And, you know, most thought they would have a down year after Dwight Howard walked.
Well, we've got a moment. Let's set the floor. Brought to you by Gatorade. All fueled up for the second half. Setting the floor for the Bucks. All the big Bucks up front. Giannis, Parker, and Maker. Brogdon and Middleton are the guard tandem. Screen by Capella. And there's the whistle. Illegal screen. And the Rockets, one of the big surprises in the NBA. But the players believe that they were one of the best teams heading into last season. They eventually won 55 games, which was much better than the 41 wins the season before.
Well, you know, Kevin, this organization has been putting out solid teams for the past decade, really. I mean, Mike D'Antoni deserves a lot of credit for their play last season because they were focused and were always hard to match up with.
Paul dishes to Harden. Capella with a screen on Antetokounmpo. Ariza passes to Paul. Tips it up, and Harden on the follow. Harden's got 11 points.
A guy like him cannot be left alone around the hoop. If you do, it'll be buffet style all day long. Plenty of seconds right there.
And it's Parker in the corner. And a great assist by Brogdon as that one goes in. And it's 8 points for Parker.
The D just sagged off just enough and no hesitation on his part.
Ariza has the open look, and they wasted no time getting those 3 points back.
Boy, the floor awareness of Chris Paul. Got to respect that. I mean, whenever one of his guys is open, he's getting the ball to him quickly and on time.
They set the pick. Parker with it, and guarded by Capella. Shot off the screen. Another miss by Parker.
Yeah, that's just poor decision-making. He's got to be better in those situations.
Greg, I just think he was in a hurry. He flat out rushed it. I mean, I don't know what he was thinking there. He actually was in a brain-neutral position.
Brogdon kicks to Antetokounmpo. Second chance shot. And, there's a whistle. He was going up for a layup. And while it looked like there was some contact, I wasn't sure they were going to call it a foul shot or not. But sure enough, they have. So he'll head to the free throw line. And we watch Giannis out there. He just looked unstoppable, Greg, at times. The way he's able to attack the rim, the blend of size, speed, and length is just unparalleled in the NBA.
And it's the movement that throws you off with Giannis. One step, and he's gone from the 3 line to the rim. There isn't any way to stop someone that skilled who's that big.
First one falls for him.
You know, when it comes to versatility, the Greek freak, Giannis, is one of the very best in the league. I mean, his shooting, ball handling, and defense are really otherworldly.
Looking at who's out there now for the Rockets. Nene, he's checked in for Clint Capella. And Bahamute comes in for Ryan Anderson. And it's P.J. Tucker in for Trevor Ariza. He's perfect from the line this time. Clark, when you look back at your terrific career, who is the one player that you considered your toughest opponent to go up against?
There were a couple of guys. Bernard King from the New York Knicks, because we saw them a handful of times a year, and he was just such a phenomenal scorer and a relentless worker offensively. He just never gave you a break. I didn't get to see the West Coast teams but twice a year. The Denver Nuggets in the early 80s had Kiki Vandeweghe, Alex English, and Dan Issel. And between those 3 guys, they were averaging about 80, 81 points a game. And I usually dealt with English or Vandeweghe. And those were long nights because those guys moved the ball, shot it from everywhere, and were excellent offensive players.
The Bucks shooting their 7th and 8th attempts at the foul line tonight.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. Blue shots.
And he makes the first. And you ask any Houston fan who the greatest player in the history of their franchise is, and they all say Hakeem Olajuwon. Clark, you played against Olajuwon. Just how great a player was he, and what does he mean to this Rockets franchise today?
Well, he was special. A first ballot Hall of Famer, brought the only titles in franchise history to the Rockets, and could do everything you want from a big guy. Graceful, strong, a presence defensively and on the glass, unselfish. They called him Hakeem the Dream for good reason. That dude was a dream to play with and a nightmare for opponents.
Here's Dellavedova, and he lays that one in. Dellavedova's got his first basket.
And Dellavedova is very clever now. He'll jump on any transition opportunity that becomes available.
And that replay brought to us by Under Armour. Another Unleash Chaos moment. One of the more exciting plays in basketball. Here's Harden. Rebound, Milwaukee. Parker's got his 5th rebound right now in the game. Dellavedova dishes to Antetokounmpo. And here is Dellavedova. He feeds it to Maker. Shot clock at 5. Over Nene. Maker misses.
When he's got that kind of position, he's got to score it. Got to score the ball from there.
Harden kicks it to Tucker. screen by Baamute. Tucker the pass to Harden. A floater, and Maker sends it back. Dellavedova kicks to Brogdon. It's deflected.
A rare rejection that time from Tucker, using that long reach, though, and times it perfectly.
Ball left side. Nene, the screen. Harden has a wide open look. Drills it from outside. Harden's got 5 points now this quarter.
So pretty to watch when Harden gets room to shoot from three. I mean, his release, picture perfect. I think it's going in every time.
Parker, right side. Milwaukee, no good that time either.
Well, it's surprising that he clunked that one. I mean, especially since the defense was nowhere to be found.
Here's Paul. That one misses. The Bucks go the other way with it. Now here is Dellavedova. Maker dishes to Antetokounmpo. There's the screen. Goes up off the pick. And Antetokounmpo slams it in.
And Giannis is a beast, the Greek freak, a dominant player on the offensive end.
Now a timeout called by Houston. As the teams head into this timeout, a chance for the coaches now to map out some plays for the next few minutes and a chance for the players to rehydrate with some Gatorade. That's important if they want to make sure they don't wear down later in the game.
Absolutely.
Houston making some changes. Clint Capella, he's checked in for Nene. Ariza comes in for P.J. Tucker. And Gordon subbed in for Paul. Greg Monroe, he's checked in for Milwaukee. Tony Snell comes in for Antetokounmpo. Gordon the pass to Harden. Ariza outside. Capella sets a screen for Ariza. Capella with a screen on Brogdon. Goes up off the pick. And it's Gordon finishing it off.
I like how Gordon stays low to the ground, keeps that center of gravity anchored. Quick driving inside and excellent finishing at the basket.
Screen by Parker. Here's Snell. He's been patient so far, nothing yet on the scoreboard. Monroe, no good.
That's the kind of D you need when he's got the ball near the hoop. They were all over.
Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. Now Gordon. Screen by Capella. Harden inside the three-point line. A second chance effort. And it's Capella missing.
Oh, great effort there. That's how you defend the paint.
Exactly. Can't play it any better than that, Greg.
And we've reached the end of the third. Bucks ahead, up by 4. And we're just moments away from the start of the fourth quarter. Stay with us. And now a sneak peek into the huddle with Coach Jason Kidd.
Good D, good pull. Understand something, one shot, one rebound, and let's go. We take care of the ball, get good shots, and get back on defense. Keep talking.
Efficiency, fundamentals, that's what I'm hearing from Jason Kidd right there.
Yeah, and there's a toughness to the way they're playing right now, and they're communicating. That's what Coach wants to keep seeing.
We welcome you back to what has been a good one here as we get into the fourth quarter. Ariza and Anderson holding down the forward spots. Harden and Gordon teaming up in the backcourt. And it's Capella in at the 5. So that's who's on the floor for the Rockets. A three-pointer is right on target.
And Parker is really a scholar of the game. I mean, sensing separation after the screen and simply rising up and letting his shot fly in perfect rhythm.
Capella sets a screen for Ariza. Anderson the screen. Kicks it out to Gordon. Three-pointer, drains it from beyond the arc.
And really the three-point shot is Gordon's specialty, Kevin. When he squares himself up, there's a real high chance he's dropping it in.
Dellavedova dishes to Monroe. Feeds it to Parker. Screen by Monroe. And the whistle blows as the basket counts and a three-point play chance right here. One free throw coming up.
He's been much more effective in the second half than he was in the first.
And let's quickly check out the scoring breakdown here for the Bucks.
They've been penetrating with a certain amount of ease, guys, just as much in this half as the first.
Well, they've also really been dialed in with their jump shot. I mean, they have not missed much from mid-range today.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. One shot.
And that one misses.
And, you know, you take a look at the Bucks in this roster now. A few trades, but they have some really nice homegrown talent. Giannis is a legit superstar they were able to draft late in the lottery. And Parker, another building block that they drafted.
And that's how you make a steal count. Turn it into a quick slam at the other end.
It was really a case, it looked like Greg Anthony right there, if I can say so. It was really a case of a great defensive play triggering some instant offense.
Yeah, I remember GA as an irritant. And this guy, much like Greg, creating havoc out there.
And Clark, think about how this Milwaukee team came about. A lot of role players came in through trades, but the young core is all from the draft.
Yeah, how about that, Kevin? Maker and Brogdon, the most recent additions to this team in the draft. Milwaukee rarely makes big free agent signings, and a number of reasons for that, perhaps the market size. And, you know, credit the front office for doing a really good job of making the most of their draft spots to build this team. That takes some real artwork to do that well.
Snell, no good. Rockets trail by 3. Harden outside. Target the floater, and he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. Well, for the majority of his career, Clark, Eric Gordon has been a starter. But last year, in his first year with the Houston Rockets, they deployed him as a 6th man, and he flourished in that role.
Yeah, you know, he sure did. And some guys just have a knack for thriving in that role coming off the bench. He knew he had the green light coming off the bench and jacking up threes. That's what he was called to do. And even though he played less minutes, he still obliterated his previous career high of three-pointers taken.
And the first one drops.
And, you know, when Gordon is healthy, he's extremely effective. I mean, he's a high-motor player who strokes it well from deep, actually strokes it well from everywhere.
Paul's checked in for James Harden. The Bucks also changing it up. Antetokounmpo comes in for Tony Snell. And Brogdon subbed in for Matthew Dellavedova. Both free throws good from Eric Gordon. And the Rockets play at one of the highest paces in the NBA. A lot of possessions for both sides as they want as many chances as they can possibly get to score. Clark, when you think about that, how do you prepare for a team like the Rockets if you're their opponent?
Well, there are a couple of things you can do. One is you try to slow them down, and some teams are equipped to do that. Other teams are equally adept at the three, so you match them shot for shot. But the problem with that is Harden is really good in the half court. And even when you take away transition, he can hurt you in the half-court game.
And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range.
Well, I agree with you. 4 of their last 5 baskets have been exactly of that variety.
Screen by Capella. Anderson, a screen on Parker. Gordon goes in. The Rockets again can't hit. Bucks leading by 3. Middleton right side. And he buries that one, drilling the rim on the way down.
You can really see Middleton now starting to emerge as a leader for this team. Whenever they're looking for an important basket, he provides it.
Ball kicks to Capella. The dish to Gordon. This one for three. The Rockets again can't hit.
Oh, I'm surprised he couldn't put that away. I mean, the defense clearly botched an assignment, leaving him open.
Fruitful possession, just doing what they can to extend the lead.
Yeah, that's tremendous efficiency there. I mean, you like seeing them put together these types of plays.
Ball outside. Here's the three. Sinks the three-pointer.
A big bucket at a critical time. Chris Paul not going to leave it up to anybody else. He wanted that shot.
Now a timeout called by Milwaukee. They're up by 4. 1:56 left in the fourth quarter. And now let's present our Jordan Player of the Game, Jabari Parker.
And he's provided them with a major mismatch on that low block tonight. That they've been able to lean on his scoring in the paint. And if nothing else has worked, he's given them a reliable option on every possession.
James Harden, he's checked in for Houston. Now let's go to the sideline and catch up with our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge.
Hi, Kevin. Well, Jason Kidd going over the plan with his team for the last few minutes. He told his guys they've got the green light to keep shooting from downtown. He told them, I like the way you guys are working out there. Keep finding the open spaces on the perimeter. They're giving us open shots. We'll see if they step it up from here, guys.
Nice step back to get it off. Harden's got 4 this quarter.
How good is that? Harden commanding the ball in these moments. Loves stepping up at crucial times.
Brogdon the pass to Monroe. Shoots from 14. Ariza with the rebound. Nuggets trail by 4. Got a piece of it. It's out of bounds to the Rockets as Houston retains possession.
So close to getting the steal there, but the deflection equally as effective.
Yeah, refusing to give up anything easy. Solid defense, and I like that attitude.
Thon Maker's checked in for the Bucks. Harden dishes the ball. Capella with a screen on Brogdon. Down low. Deflects the pass. It's stolen by Maker. Brogdon kicks to Antetokounmpo. Gets it to drop, and now he's shooting at a 5 for 8 clip.
And Antetokounmpo really, building on his shooting. That's impressive to see. No way the defense catches up to him when he's rising up right after he gets the pass. No way.
Screen by Capella. Paul kicks to Anderson. The shot, no good. Good D by Parker. So it's the Bucks now. 6-point lead. Middleton the pass to Antetokounmpo. That one goes. Count it.
Just terrific determination. First, compiling the lead, and now building on it.
And that's what you want to do. I mean, you can't let the opposition off the hook here. I mean, you've got to keep adding to that lead.
Timeout called the Rockets. They're trailing by 8. There's 39 seconds left to play in the final quarter. There's 39 seconds left in the game. And the rejection by Antetokounmpo. Middleton dishes to Antetokounmpo. That one wide left.
That's good offense. The shot didn't go down, but they'll live with that.
And Akers sends it back. Paul for three. It's good. Oh, and that cuts the lead to just 5.
This is when some players pull in and tighten up a bit, but if you're talking about CP3, this is when it becomes fun for him.
And the pass to Middleton. To the middle, and so they foul intentionally.
Shooting for Milwaukee, Chris Middleton. At the line for 2.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
First free throw is good, and that increases their lead to 6.
Middleton is most known, quite honestly, for his scoring ability. He's a sniper from outside that you can't afford to lose contact with.
So he gets them both, and it's a 7-point game.
Yeah, showing off a really smooth stroke there, and that will add to their lead.
Now a timeout called by Houston. They're behind by 7. 11 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. Guys, your thoughts?
Yeah, this has been rough all the way around. I mean, coming in with high hopes and then just now trying to finish the best they can.
Well, Greg, this one's clearly over. This is done, but hopefully they can find some momentum to carry into the next game.
Here is Harden, and Abamute kicks it to Tucker. The Rockets again can't hit. Dellavedova with the ball. So it's Milwaukee picking up the win. They seem to relish their role as the bad guy here tonight.
Yeah, you know, Kevin, I sense that as well. I mean, they really did feed off all of that negative energy this crowd was directing at them. I mean, they turned it around and used it as motivation to close out a significant win.
It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thank you, Kevin. Jabari, you guys really got after it tonight. Is this the kind of mentality you want to impose on the other team?
Just as long as I stay aggressive. You know, don't rush the game. Don't get outside of my game, but continue to play hard.
Well, you got your teammates looking for you tonight, Jabari. Thanks. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, great job. Thanks so much. And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. For Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching the NBA on 2K Sports. So long and good night, everyone.